It was a good weekend.
I feel like I'm probably like a little late to that party, but you know.
I mean, there's been a lot of congratulations going on, but
like
I still
at least
appreciate
four.
it.
Yeah.
So it's there's not the massive deluge,
Sure.
the overwhelming rush, and now it's I can savor each one as they're trickling off, and next week no one will remember anymore. So I want to enjoy my brief foray into fame here.
That's the trick with 15 minutes. You have to make it last 15
yeah.
minutes.
And I'm trying to meet them out. 1 minute a day for 15 days. Golden.
Very reasonable. Very reasonable. So obviously you came down here to try and run it back in Charlotte.
I did.
Sans scarf.
Yeah, so John took the scarf back, so now I am, I'm playing Magic the way I always used to, like a mere mortal. And so far it's not going too well, so maybe I need to bring the scarf back somehow. But I'm 4-2, which when you have 3 buys means I'm 1-2, which is not where you want to be. But people at home got to see me get just obliterated by Patrick Sullivan on camera in round 4. That was not a close match, including the soda explosion,
yes.
which added some excitement. The only exciting thing actually in the entire match was the soda explosion. But so it goes. It's Magic.
I was telling Peace, after doing this job like for 10 years, I've literally never seen that happen.
I have never had that happen to me before. So, and you're primed for it here because the feature match has these 2 big risers next to it. It's really in a pit. There's people on either side kind of cheering over you. You felt like a gladiator almost. And they started throwing fruit at you. It was very, very sad.
Yeah.
So it happens.
Just one more first for Grand Prix Charlotte. One more record broken. So what kind of a deck are you playing here in the sealed event, actually?
Sure, so I'm an Orzhov deck. I'm splashing a couple red cards. Actually, I have great mana. I have 2 Prophetic Prisms and dual land and 3 Guild Gates.
Okay.
But I have nothing really worth splashing, which is too bad. My good cards are either in Orzhov or they're a bunch of like green aggressive creatures like Slaughterhorns, and those don't really mingle at all. So I'm splashing and Assemble the Legions and a 3/3 for 5, the Fortress Cyclops guy in my Orzhov deck. So it's pretty mediocre. I have a bunch of removal spells. I have like 8 removal, so I can do that. I can trade 1 for 1 a bunch, but I have no way to get ahead, and my creatures don't really race them. So while I'm killing all their guys, they just have time to draw more stuff.
Yeah.
Which makes it kind of hard to win against the powerful decks.
So you're basically just taking like some incidental damage early, and then like you can't really turn the momentum.
Exactly. That's the real problem. We saw that in my match against Patrick, where I have a 2/2 in play, and I kill all his stuff for a while, but eventually he draws lands and can start playing his spells again, and he's still at like 9 life. And I can't do those last points of damage, and then he eventually just overwhelms me.
So it sounds like you had to splash really just to get your deck's like general power level up rather than like for a bomb.
So Assemble the Legion in my deck I think is quite good because I can trade off their stuff early. So if I play that on turn 5, it will actually just win the game in time, where it just keeps ticking up. And I also have 1 Undercity Informer, so I can go deep with milling them out with the Legion. Not what the Legion usually does, they usually attack, but here it gives me kind of a plan B. But yeah, it's definitely the power level of the creature side is very low.
Sure. So what is your feeling on splashing the format? Because actually we've seen, a lot of different splashes going on. I've seen people splashing, like Jerry splashed for like Aurelius Fury in his pool, and then there are people, splashing for more cards. You generally just try and avoid it as much as possible, or?
In sealed thing, it's hard to be 2 colors a lot of the time because you just don't have enough cards. I mean, some of your powerful cards are going to be gold and other guilds, and there's a decent amount of mana fixing.
Yeah.
So oftentimes in sealed, you can definitely splash. In draft, I hate splashing. I think you really want to be streamlined 2 colors, and you just want to be very efficient. With the exception of maybe like an Esper control deck, where I think you can kind of get away with splashing to bring in more removal or more counter spells. There you can get away with it, but in any of the aggressive decks, you really want to be 2 colors.
That's fair. I've seen a lot of 20-card decks that are either have the choice of adding a new color or running some really bad cards.
Yeah, I mean, I could be playing like the Ruffian, the State Street Ruffian, as like and that, and plus maybe another very mediocre card, or I can splash kind of for free the 2 red cards. I feel like the power level increase there definitely justifies, especially in sealed deck, bringing in the red cards.
Sure. So let's move back to the Pro Tour a little bit.
Sure, that's more fun for me than the tournament.
Yeah. So. As you were preparing for the top 8 of the tournament, how did you actually go about that? Because obviously not everyone out here has had the chance to prepare for the top 8 of the Pro Tour. So
it's actually the 3rd or 4th time now I've been involved in preparation. The first time that I've been the one preparing for myself. My last top 8 in Paris, we had a whole day off, but I got pneumonia and had like 103-degree fever, so I just did no preparation. So it was much more fun actually trying out the matchups and getting to test it. So Sam, Zvi, John Finkel, and myself kind of got together, and actually Dave Heineman, who's another member of our team, was there as well. And we kind of played, 10 pre-sideboarded games, tried out a few sideboard plans, discovered that none of them really worked. The matchup was just atrocious, no matter what we were really doing.
Okay.
And then sort of wished that I'd gone to the karaoke party at that point because I felt like, that nothing I could really do the next day to improve my matchup. Thankfully, I think actually the testing that Melissa's team did was very different than ours. They actually thought they had a bad matchup. I'm not exactly sure how they came to that conclusion, but they thought they had to go bigger than me. And a lot of their games, they told me, were going to, we both had 40 or 50 life, which makes no sense because my only real life gain was Vault of the Whispers. So I have one card that gains life, and she has all these Wrath of God, so I can't really build up a big board to really gain a lot. But those are the game states they were getting. So they decided they wanted to cut their Augur Bolses and their Centaur Healers, slowing their deck down a ton. And that coincided nice with my plan of bringing all the humans and just try to be as fast as possible. So it actually worked out really well for me that our sideboard plans really favored me, I think, and it gave me a big edge in the post-sideboard games, the way they played out.
Okay, well that's really interesting, actually. Yeah,
it was really it worked out really well that way. And then I obviously got lucky too. She mulliganed a bunch, which certainly helped. And then actually while I was playing against her, John, Matt Costa, Sam, Zvi, and actually Dave Shields was helping out testing my next round matchup. So they started testing my deck against Ephro and Owen, and then when we knew I was going to play against Ephro, they started testing against Ben and Joel. Okay. So it worked out. I kind of got this download from them each time saying, hey, here's what you want to be working out for. Here's the sideboard plan we like for the next matchup, prepping me and getting me ready for the next round. So that really helped, kind of having a pick crew on the side that I can really go to and get some help.
I think that's a great demonstration of the power of teams, especially in this
incredible.
era. Yeah.
It's an incredible resource to have, having that caliber of player there, kind of figuring out what you want to do, being able to trust what they're telling you, and just kind of go with it on the fly.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly worked out.
Absolutely.
This is not the first time that you've managed to pilot a Sam Black altered concoction, I should say, to some success.
I've had a good track record with his decks.
You've also been playing a lot of Lingering Souls. I feel like I personally harp on you a little bit more than most, but I mean, what are you planning to do once Lingering Souls rotates out of Standard?
I mean, my first top 8 didn't involve Lingering Souls.
That's true. I mean, Squadron Hawk was really close.
I had the poor man's Lingering Souls, and I also had Jason Stoneforge Mystic, so I had some powerful cards instead.
Sure.
Since then, it feels like basically everything I've done in Constructed has involved that card. We'll see what happens next. I hope I can still play other decks. I mean, I think in Honolulu, we had a Spirits deck that did not have Lingering Souls, so it was banned from that format, if I recall correctly, or maybe it was bad.
In Honolulu,
we had Lingering Souls. Never mind, we were playing the card. Barcelona, we couldn't play Lingering Souls, and I did very badly. So yeah, maybe you're right. I might be in trouble. I can't come up with an example of where I've done well without the card recently, but we'll
have to see. Yeah,
have to do it for the next Standard Pro Tour because it'll be gone by then.
That's true. That's
so
true.
Maybe they'll reprint it in M14 for me. I can't imagine.
Not
it's
a
coming
chance.
back.
Yeah, it's going to be a brave new world for you. Thanks for joining us, Tom.
My pleasure. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
And
we're going to go ahead and throw to one of our many wonderful guild selections. I'm sure one of our videos is up, but I'm not sure which one. Thanks for joining us at Grand Prix Charlotte.
SCG Live is brought to you by StarCityGames.com, where you can now pre-order Dual Decks, Sorin vs. Tybalt decks, singles, and accessories, featuring 2 of Innistrada's biggest, baddest planeswalkers. The release date for this exciting new product is March 15th, so visit StarCityGames.com and pre-order Dual Decks, Sorin vs. Tybalt today. Sorin vs. Tybalt pre-order is a promotion by StarCityGames.com and is not affiliated with Wizards of the Coast. For more information on this promotion, visit StarCityGames.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grand Prix Charlotte.
Gold Rush!
That's right, this is the home of the Gold Rush, and we're here with a special segment of Above the Curve to break down Gatecrash Limited, Sealed, and Draft. I'm Glenn Jones, Brad Nelson, this is Jerry Thompson.
Gold Rush!
Okay, so there are 2 formats, obviously, at the Grand Prix. The first one, day 1, is going to be Sealed. So what are your general impressions on the Sealed format so far? We've had some time with it on Moto, but not really any big events in real life.
I mean, I was going to talk about this, and then I got here, and Jerry just has the perfect thing to say about this, so I'm just going to step over to Jerry, because it's brilliant.
Okay, so I don't like the Sealed format. I'm just going to say that. And I think it's because of this. Like, in old Ravnica, you had 4 guilds in the first set and then 3 in each of the other ones. So, like, you could do a Sealed deck with the full block, and it's fine. You know, you end up playing some 3 or 5 color deck, whatever, and that's sweet. But we don't have the full block yet. We're doing 5 guilds, which is 1 more, which makes a big difference. Like, there's basically 10 colors. You know, there's like the gold cards for like Simic, and then like white cards, blue cards, whatever. So you end up getting like very short on playables for just a 2-color combination, and then it ends up being pretty bad because you have to like not just splash a 3rd color, but basically play 3 solid colors. So I don't really like 5 guilds. I think it's too many, and it makes Sealed like pretty bad. But I've definitely seen some decks that are just like good Boros decks or good Gruul decks, but for the most part, it just seems like your decks end up like this mishmash of like Dimir Simic, where you also have some Extort like coming off from Orzhov, so like your decks end up like not very synergetic, and the cards that would normally be good, like Zemek Guildmage, for example, is just like a hard to cast 2-mana 2/2 because you don't have enough things with Evolve or whatever. So like, I don't know, it seems weird. It's tough to build a sealed deck in this format. Like, in an ideal world, I would like to just open like a reasonable Boros deck or a reasonable Simic deck, and maybe that's one of the skill testers that they're trying to implement with this format. I don't know, but it does seem pretty tough to me, and like, I'll just be happy if I make day 2 of GPCharlotte and I can draft while still having a reasonable record.
Okay, reasonable goal. So let's just go with each of you. Brad, what's your favorite guild, do you think, to try and aim for in sealed? Like, what kind of a pool are you hoping to open?
I'm hoping to open a Naya pool. I mean, that, like Jerry says, it's very difficult to just go 2 colors, and I like the combination of both of them because they're aggressive. And Gruul has Blood Rush, which could be creatures to help out your battalion, and your battalion gets the bonus from the Blood Rush. Also, the removal's pretty decent in that color combination, so I really like that. I haven't played that many sealed so far, but I've had the most success with that combination.
Okay. Jerry, how about you?
I just want any reasonable 2-color deck, please.
Yeah.
That's all I want. Like Brad said, I think Naya and, the Naya combination, like those guilds work well together. Like I was talking about earlier, like Dimir Simic is just like this mishmash. your cards don't work well together. So anything that just like wants to be attacking, Gruul or Boros, I would be very, very happy with. If I have to splash like 4 or 5 green cards or whatever, I'm still fine with that as long as it's reasonable.
Okay, do your preferences change in draft? Is there like a specific guild you really like in draft or any strategy?
Not really. Like I think I can win with any guild. I think I know how to draft all of them. I think overall Simic put up the best numbers in our drafts when we were testing for the PT, but I mean, that could just be skewed somehow. You know, we didn't do all that many, but like Boros is good, Gruul is good, Orzhov I'm fine with. Dimir is like the wild card where there are a lot of different ways you can take that guild. Like you can either be a mill deck or like a very aggressive deck. You can have some extort stuff in there, and your deck is not going to look the same no matter how many times you draft it, I don't think. So I think I would prefer to be Simic. At the Pro Tour, I ended up Boros twice, which obviously worked out. I ended up 5-1, but in a lot of our practice drafts, I was like first picking Sky Knight Legionnaire and then just getting cut out of it because basically everyone wants to be Boros. Like,
yeah.
So, I don't know. It's tough. I like the strategy of just going into whatever's open.
Yeah, that's exactly how I want to draft. I think because of the requirements of so many guilds, it's very easy to find the color combination that you're supposed to be in after a couple picks. So that's all I want to do. I just want to take the best card. I don't care how greedy they are, like a straight Orzhov card.